Last week on The Presenter,
It's an insult to any production to go out on location and come back with nothing. It's for that reason you leave the academy now.
it's another week where the search for the presenter continues. 13 contestants now remain in the academy. With every passing week, the training given serves to build their knowledge on what it takes to be the best in the business.
To be a TV presenter, one of the most critical, valuable skills you must possess, which is what we want to focus on today: speech technique, strong command of language, and of course, general presentation skills. To further equip us into knowing more about what it takes to be a good TV presenter in those particular elements, I'd like to introduce to you strategic communications consultant, Derek Banga. Derek.
Hello, Catherine.
Have you?
Thank you very much for having me.
Academy.
Derek Banga is a well-established strategic communications and image consultant who works with organizations and professionals on how to improve their people skills, branding skills, communication skills, and image, which are the key ingredients for success in any industry today. Derek is well known for contributing in the media, giving advice in branding and image, and is a regular analyst on KTN's Morning Express and Checkpoint, as well as a contributor to several magazines and newspapers.
All the best, Derek.
Thank you very much.
They're all
Catherine.
yours.
All right. Hello, contestants. How are you? How has it been so far?
I tend to get nervous in front of a camera, so I've been trying to work that out, so hopefully it'll help me.
Can I ask you, what are you nervous about?
I can speak in front of people without a problem, but once I can see the camera and the red light is on, all of a sudden my nerves tend to show up right in the middle of me speaking, so it tends to affect how I present.
The day that you stand in front of an audience or you sit in front of a camera and you are not nervous is the day that I encourage you to get up and quit. Everybody, from the greatest speakers and presenters that you can think about, feels some sort of nervousness.
Contestants are also trained on how to control their nerves and the various techniques of achieving this.
I look at it as adrenaline. The trick is, how do you convert that nervous energy into positive energy to help you with your performance?
Did you know that hormones react differently with our bodies depending on our posture?
We have hormones flowing through our body. We've got testosterone and cortisol. Testosterone is the hormone that's responsible for when you feel confident, authoritative, dominant, high power. Cortisol is a direct opposite of testosterone. When you feel lack of confidence, anything but authoritative, in fact, you have no power.
Derek illustrates how to pose when addressing people at different functions.
If I was to give my entire presentation like this, which is extremely awkward, let's say like this, guess what? Cortisol levels are raised in my body, testosterone goes down. My performance, and I call it a performance because that's what you're doing, you're speaking in front of an audience, is going to be irreparably damaged. I'm not going to give the best performance. Therefore, and a lot of studies have been done about this, making sure that your limbs are not touching each other. So number one is my legs. Notice that when I speak, I don't have my feet or my knees or my legs touching. My legs are separate. Just this 6-inch separation has elevated the level of testosterone and driven down cortisol. Notice my hands. Now I gesture a lot, that's my style. But if I was to give this talk like this, then cortisol would go up, testosterone would go up, making me less of a credible performer. Remember those 3 C's I talked about: confidence, credibility, and charisma.
It was a good thing to know like what always makes you have stressful situations and what makes you like just jump out of your bubble. So it really helped. Like right now I did a couple of postures and I'm good.
It was amazing, an eye-opener. Specifically for me, I was hoping to talk about stage presence because that's a demon I've been wanting to exercise for the longest time.
When I watch myself actually speaking, I feel, I don't know what to explain, but you know, you feel this jittery feeling when you're hearing yourself or watching yourself, especially talking. So I want to know how I could combat such a feeling.
There is no way you're going to be great performer or a great presenter or a great anchor if you don't watch yourself. Because what watching yourself allows you to do is for you to see yourself as other people do and to be objective in terms of your analysis. What can I improve? What is working? I said we're going to do this exercise and I want you to put your feet as wide as possible. Now, I want you to put your hands up like this, close your eyes, and I want you to imagine you're about to go in and deliver a newscast. As you are doing this, think about the best case scenario in giving that presentation newscast. So your audience loves it, the people at home who are watching you are saying fantastic, and think about that scenario, the best case scenario, okay? All right, now I want you to open your eyes. Now, you know what you have done? You have done two things. The mere fact that you've done this for about a minute, and I would encourage you to do this for 2 minutes, up to 2 minutes, is that you have elevated the levels of what hormone? Testosterone. You've driven down the levels of cortisol. And you've also put your mind, which is combined with your body, you have put yourself in a mindset that says, I am going to achieve success.
Ni jamaa wa kwanza kupatana naye ambaye naona kama ana ile kama test yangu.
I've actually learned you have to be prepared for just about anything, and whatever you deliver must be just great.
After the first session with Derek, the contestants are now ready for the next lesson on word pronunciation with Willis, the word master. Willis is a motivational speaker on speaking skills and good English pronunciations.
Genre. The correct or acceptable pronunciation is genre.
He holds a bachelor's degree in education, English and literature, a course he undertook on modern English phonology through distance learning before settling for personal research on received pronunciation. Currently, he has a popular segment on KTN's Friday briefing known as Mind Your Language.
Speech, pronunciation and accent are closely related. But one thing that you must know is when we talk of speech, that is just the way one speaks. Any given person, any human being, the way you speak, that particular way, that is just your speech.
The presenters are taken through lessons relating to standard or acceptable pronunciation. And yes, it's pronunciation and not pronunciation.
When we say pronunciation, and I hope you won't talk of pronunciation, we don't have that glide. So pronunciation refers to the way you pronounce a language, a word or a particular word, or some given sound in a language. In this case, if you talk too fast, maybe 10 words per second, will people really get what you're talking about? Very few may understand what you're talking about. It will be too fast. That is, the pace itself must be moderate.
Speech and tonation reveal so much about a person.
When you come to accent, you realize that when somebody comes from Jamaica, another person comes from West Africa, and somebody comes from maybe River Road in Nairobi. When they speak, for instance, English language, there will be some kind of variation or difference in terms of the way they speak. So it can also tell your social class. It can also tell, the area or the country that you come from.
Much as one wants to sound stylish and classy, it's important to make sure that your delivery is clear. Willis teaches on the need to be audible to your audience.
Be natural. You can use a slightly exaggerated accent, just slightly. But when you want to swallow every given word, you want to talk like somebody arriving from Texas. People who are watching you, the viewers, may not, grasp what you are talking. What you say matters more than how you say it. Now we go to the part of reading the sentences, and I would ask Sharon Wanjiro to read for me the first sentence.
Security officers are busy clearing the debris after the 5-minute fracas at the county hall.
Debris, good. Fracas, no. You say fracas, fracas. That is, S is silent. I talked about silent words. silent letters in words.
Dr. Precious Banda has prepared a delicious meal for her visitors.
We don't say precious, shears. We say precious, shears, and delicious, not delicious. Visitors, visitors, not visit.
A group of journalism students from Seychelles have launched a protest against the arrest of a blind journalist in their country.
That is good, but you have to know that we don't say journalism, say journalist. Next person.
This morning's bombing of a Mombasa hotel has caused immense anxiety, with local residents alleging that at least 8 suspected bombers escaped after the incident.
I will tell you, wow. Bombing, anxiety, and bombers. Not bombers, not bombing. Well, potential presenters, I would say you're wonderful, but don't always believe that you're wonderful when you're told you're wonderful. Always aim higher. That is enough for this evening. I'm Willis Ochieng.
Memorability, dependability, and credibility. That is something I'm looking to prove to the judges this week.
After the break, the coaching from Derek and Willis is put to the test. We're back in a moment.
Contestants, you had the opportunity to acquire skill and knowledge from our 2 experts, Willis the Wordmaster and Derek Banga, the Strategic Communications Consultant. Today you will be putting that knowledge to the test. Each of you will be required to present a 2-minute speech on a select topic to a public audience. The envelopes in front of you contain 4 topics that you will be presenting. Remember, this is an elimination challenge. All the best.
Unlike last week where they worked in groups, today it's every man for himself. The tasks are broken into 4 categories, and each presenter is supposed to creatively come up with a 2-minute presentation of their own. Time and delivery of their presentation is key. After picking their category, the presenters are put to task to do their presentation in front of a group of communication students from Multimedia University.
Hello, how are you guys? Anyway, my name is Tendai Mbalekwa. Today, I'm gonna have to convince you why you should watch KTN. eCup is basically a show, and we have 2 presenters who cover most trending topics, who cover cars, who cover entertainment.
Quick question. Yeah. Could you repeat cover?
I beg your pardon?
Cover. Insurance cover. You're covered with a blanket. Could you repeat it 4 times?
Repeat the word cover?
Yes.
Why is that so?
Because you said cover.
So you want me to say cover?
No, I'm not an English teacher, so I don't know. I'm just saying you repeat it so that I can climb it high.
Okay. Quote. Cover.
Cover.
Is that okay?
Cover.
Whatever you want to call it.
Go ahead.
It can be cover, it can be cover, it can be cover, but it's cover.
Yeah, there's a little bit of mishaps in pronunciations, but I gave them options of many pronunciations if you want to hear, whatever makes them sleep at night.
Yesu we nakupenda. Naangalia wengine wenu kidogo naona kuwa mmepigwa na butwa, mnashangaa je, Bi Farida leo mwaka ako na mambo yapi? Lakini leo niko na mazungumzo kulingana na ulingo wa burudani. Anajulikana kama Rose Muhando, mwamjua? Hivi majuzi Rose Muhando amenikana katika runinga zetu kuwa ametoa mimba ya miezi ngapi? 7. Je, ni ukweli ama ni porojo? Uwe uko katika ulingo wa burudani, uwe katika ulingo gani, jizatiti, kwa manake cheche za porojo ndizo ambazo zinaleta burudani. Kuna mtu yote kidogo labda kuna maswali?
Yes, I have a question for you. So according to your presentation, you said that rumors form the basis of the entertainment news. Is that it? So there's nothing else that forms entertainment.
Ulingo wa burudani ni mkubwa sana. Nikianza kuzungumzia kila kitu sitamaliza kwa dakika 2 ndugu yangu. Ndio maana nikachukua ngazi moja ambayo ni ngazi ya porojo. Nimekujibu swali lako. Watu walikuwa wazuri, niliwapenda, walikuwa na tabasamu, walikuwa wanakubaliana na mimi, nikiuliza maswali wanajibu.
I'm here to talk to you guys about the by-elections. Elijah Mumesi turned out to be the winner of the elections by 15 to 16,000 votes. What do we learn here? Don't count your chicks before they hatch. Sorry, it's hatch. Before they hatch. Thank you so much for your time. Have a good afternoon, guys. I can't even explain it. So many things happened in my body, in my mind, in my stomach, everywhere, all at once, just because people started shouting and screaming things all over.
I'm going to tell you a story about Jacinta Wanjiku. She delivered a set of twins. And unfortunately, she delivered a set of twins. Twins. 2 babies. She was told that her babies, she suffered a stillbirth. She ordered a DNA test, and unfortunately, she was not related to the 2 lifeless bodies. So what happened was, it opened a Hope Indoors box and a can of worms as to what goes on at Pumwani Maternity Hospital. Any questions from these lovely God-sent people? Did my challenge as I thought best, even with all them little rascals. Hey, God, heaven-sent audience.
When you are living in a world where both communicable and non-communicable diseases are on the rise by the second, it is very easy for you to forget the already existing diseases. Diabetes 2, the type 2. Diabetes insipidus, often said to be a inheritable disease. That makes me say we cannot afford to emphasize more the need to be keen about the diabetes disease, whether at an early age or an old age.
Diabetes is not inheritable, it is inherent.
To tell you on the inherent and inheritable, it is to mean your genes can affect whether you get the disease. That is to say, when you acquire diabetes, the first generation will be skipped and the next will. The other will be skipped and the generation is going to get that.
It was an
that
English point. Inherent means you can inherit it. Inheritable means it is more of a physical factor. I was correcting your grammar.
Well, statistics.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. It was a mixed audience. Some were receptive. Some looked like they were very, pretty much in conflict with me. So, well, it was that kind of a real thing.
Hello and good afternoon, guys. How are you guys doing? Are you feeling good? You look good, you look good. You look a bit sleepy. Are you okay? You're good. Anyway, I'm here to talk to you guys about politics. Who likes politics? No one. You need to be interested because it's your country. I want to talk to you guys about politics, more specifically the by-election that went down in Kajiado Central earlier this week. My name is Charlie Karomi and the by-election was for Kajiado Central constituency. Now, if you remember what happened is that this by-election was to replace Joseph Nkaiseri, who has been appointed the Interior Security Cabinet Secretary, and how it went down is that it was the biggest voter turnout for the IEBC. My apologies. Oh, please don't ask me a lot of questions. I have a feeling they went easy on me and I'm grateful for that.
Lessons 101 on how to become a socialite. You see, the talk has been going on for a long time now. People say, I think my definition is this. And I'd want to hear from one of you, even two. What do you think, or who would you say is a socialite?
We're doing the work for you.
I'm hearing a lot of comments here, so if you want to say something, you can please put up your hands. Okay, let's move on. Okay, relax, give me some time here. Okay, questions please.
Socialite anajulikana kama mkware wa tajriba ya juu au kibiriti ngoma ukipenda.
What I meant was, for you to be able to stand out, for you to be able to generate conversation, you need to place yourself differently, if you know what I meant.
And my issue was, why can't you just say what you want to say, as opposed to, meandering around the point?
Good afternoon, guys. Ntakumurda. I can see you guys laughing. That's a familiar phrase, right? Where have you heard it? Jameni Show. Yes, one of KTN's comical shows airs every Thursday at 7:30 p.m. after news, right?
Umetutajia mrututu wa vipindi ambavyo vinapeperushwa hewani hapa KTN. Mbona uliamua kuchagua hiki kimoja tu?
The reason why I picked Jameni Show because its ratings have gone really high ever since its inception in KTN.
At first I didn't have any strategy. I got my facts. I know what I wanted to go there and say. I got the information beforehand through the training that we had, so I knew I had to engage my audience.
My job here is that I'm going to give you a quick rundown of the various shows here on the Kenya Television Network. Now, we can start off with... Oh, hi, my name is Simon. Nice to meet you too. Thank you for hollering and interrupting me. Please stop, thank you. Now, what will happen is, on the Kenya Television Network, there are various shows. The thing is, we're going to start with the little kids. The little kids first. Club Kiboko. There's various shows like Club Kiboko, and there's KTN Kids. He has many cartoons for kids to come and watch, like Hulk and his Agents of Smash. For the general shows that we have here to uplift your spirits. Because hey, hell is real. Tukuza is there every single Sunday. And also, we can enjoy every day of your life here on KTN with Joyce Meyer. Stand up, please, and say your name.
Oh, my name is Inconsequential. You should really watch your KTN program.
Thank you. See, you're awesome. See, like that. I like that. I like that. Go on. It's good. It's good. Thank you.
Your R's. I know we were told in school to roll our R's, but like you don't Oh, okay. You just R it.
You are it.
You are it, not
Mr. Diction, salute to you. They should invite you on KTN and then you could teach them some diction. You're very good. You're supposed to, like, I think, understand the stress levels, maintain them, that even audiences that you may get, crazy, wild people like that. Like that kid with the glasses. I'm watching you, kid. What's wrong with you?
Hello, guys. All right, okay. So let's say in the news category, right? My favorite show is Friday Briefing by Betty Chalo. What's your favorite show in the news category? Really? Hands up. Really? No? Okay, well, what about entertainment? What entertainment shows do you guys like on KTN? As soon as I saw the people, my confidence was on 100% and I connected with the crowd. The crowd was amazing.
Lengo, shabaha na madhumuni yangu ya siku ya leo ni kuongelea afya, ambapo nitaweza kugusia gonjwa la saratani. Ni ugonjwa ambao unasababisha seli katika mwili wetu kuweza kujitenga na kukua bila kidhibati. Na takwimu zinasema inasababisha kesi kama 3,000 kila mwaka nchini kwetu Kenya. Na serikali imeweza kujibidiisha kuleta mashini 2 ambazo ziko katika Kenyatta Hospital.
In Kenyatta National Hospital, the machines that are used for the cancer patients were closed down. Why were they closed down?
Zimeweza kufungwa manake kwanza ni jambo geni kwa nchi yetu ya Kenya. Hatuna knowledge, hatuna si ustaarabu. Hao jamaa kidogo walinitoa kijasho, manake waliuliza maswali mengine ambayo sikuwa na zile facts kamili.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. How are you? There are pros and cons of being a socialite. A pro of being a socialite obviously is the fame. If you want to be famous, it's the fastest way to get there. Cons, controversy. Do you want to be somebody who's known as a prostitute? Any questions?
I wonder, do you know when or what year the word socialite came about?
Truthfully, usually it's known on the Urban Dictionary more than it is in the Webster Dictionary, but I do not have that at the time. If you will meet me afterwards, I will look for it and I'll tell you. Without sounding too rude, the children were annoying.
Zamani ilikuwa ni siasa za peni mbili, watu wanapewa mapeni na wanaenda kama wamefungwa macho kwenda kupiga kura yule mtu ambaye wamepatia mapeni, lakini siku hizi watu wanamsikiza yule mtu ambaye anataka kuwania kiti fulani, pengine cha ubunge ama cha useneta ama hata cha ugavana. Tukiangalia mwezi huu ni kwamba katika eneo ama katika chaguzi ya Kajiado ambapo Memusi Kanchori alishinda, inasemekana watu ambao walikuwa wamejiandikisha kupiga kura ni watu 39,000 na watu ambao walijitokeza ni watu 31,000. Wakati wote ukiwa mbele ya watu lazima kuna ule mchecheto utakupata, lakini nilijaribu kuficha kidogo na ujasiri wangu kama ulikuja na uliweza kunisaidia.
Now how about that? For a first-time presentation in front of an audience, who do you think did a good job? Go onto our Facebook and Twitter pages to get the discussion going. After the break, the contestants' performance is evaluated by the judges. Will anyone be leaving the academy today? Stay tuned to find out.
We had the contestants give a 2-minute speech and also the opportunity to get questions from an audience, the first time they're doing this. And so we had an audience drawn from Multimedia University at Ongatarongai. So let's see how they performed. And today we're meant to be eliminating a few of them, at least the worst performers. So we're ready?
Yes, we are.
Cool.
Let's do this.
Let's do this. Tendai Mbalekwa.
In terms of his performance, he needed to be a little bit more assertive.
I have no problem with him not speaking Swahili, but him understanding what he's talking about.
He was looking at all these boys and girls and thinking, what are they asking? He couldn't even name the presenters of eCurve, and that is what he kept talking about.
Frida Mwaka. I like that she's the only one who asked the audience, have I answered your question? So she didn't just assume that, you know, I'm done with you. She went, you know, after giving her answer the extra mile, to say, have I answered you? Like, have I understood this? So that was attractive to me. That stood out.
Frida has got it all. She's got the charisma,
the bongo.
She's got the confidence. That is, I think that's her personal style.
Sharon Wanjiro, Eric.
She did not engage with her audience very well. She just picked two names, Patrick and Elijah. So Patrick and Elijah. And she says she's from that constituency. And she's completely distracted by the audience. The audience got under her skin, like she kept saying, and she went.
Richard Onyango.
I think that Richard is animated, he has energy, and he could go far in my view.
His body language, you know, some of that leaning on the lectern, I think took away some of his energy. But overall, I didn't have anything too critical to say about it.
Charlie Karumi.
I loved him. I mean, I think that he captivated the audience and he seemed to have content.
A little too much enthusiasm, maybe he needs to harness it. But other than that, I think he was one of the better presenters.
Rose Gakuo.
Rose has a very commanding presence. And I think sometimes she tries to push it too far.
There's this facade that she has that, you know, you have to look really serious, you have to look, and that makes her fake.
Peter Kamau.
I don't find anything particularly striking about this guy.
He didn't seem to be enjoying himself that much. I don't think he dealt well with the hecklers in the audience.
The audience got him. Because when he tried to engage them, who's a socialite, and they told him, no, we're not going to do your work, it went down.
So Zainab Ismail.
This, I think, was one of her better performances.
Intro was powerful. She came with this whole Shaniqua thing.
Yeah.
And that immediately just caught them.
You win or lose with your opening. And I think she won it with the opening.
Yeah. Then we have Michelle. She speaks very well. She was very composed. I mean, even the audience rated her very high.
She had a good pace to her presentation.
There's a little bit of the school teacher in her, a little bit of authority. I'm actually surprised that she pulled so well with the audience in terms of likability.
Simon Mainge. Derek, your thoughts?
Simon. Now, here's a fellow who looked like he was enjoying himself. You know, full of the energy and the enthusiasm. Again, you know, some of these presenters just need to tone down a little bit.
I still can't get over the fact that he can't pronounce his name, he even forgets that name. He had to be reminded by the audience, hey, wait a minute, who are you?
Jamal, I think he was very bland.
I don't understand how somebody who has that grasp of the language has all of this going for him, the dressing and the image, but yet
he has been one of the more confident contestants this far, and I don't know whether it's becoming a bit complacent, but honestly, this was really bad.
Frida Sunday.
I wouldn't say I know as many socialites as she does, but she seemed to have her facts right when they asked questions about whether they're female or male. She seems to have it together.
She knows, she understands the topic that she's talking about, and I love her.
Abula Ahmed.
He looks like a middle-aged civil servant who wandered into the studio, was told, everybody caught Ebola today, so you just come in and read news.
There goes,
there
goes.
Okay.
I'm attracted to his humility. Like, he doesn't just throw it to your face. He's willing to learn. He strikes me as very teachable, malleable at the same time.
Abula, I think he spoke very well about almost nothing. That he had good command of language, but I'm not too sure whether he had an equally good command of the subject matter that he chose to address.
We have looked at what you did. So we'll start with you, Abula Ahmed. Please step to the front.
So Abula, this week you had to present to an audience of students. We, the judges, felt that you needed to work a little bit on your energy levels. You came across a bit stiff. However, you did seem fairly confident. In fact, we were really impressed with your eloquent grasp of the national language. Abula Ahmed, your mic is still on. Congratulations.
Tendai, no jacket today. You're exposed. We promised you immunity last week. We, the judges, felt that you came across as too cocky with the audience. Just so we know, we promised you immunity. And we keep it. Your mic is still on.
Rose Gakuo, I just feel you're too combative. You're too hard, too rigid. You're supposed to be conversational. The audience is not against you. It's not a war ground. There's something about the way you speak that almost intimidates and has people put off by you. You don't need to be any of that. You're a woman, you're feminine. You're supposed to be warm. The audience even told you smile. You didn't give them a smile. You need to apply these things, because if you just take that into consideration, you stand a very strong chance in this competition. So your mic is still on. Zainab Ismail.
Zainab, you had a great opening. It was really, really lovely. Indeed, a great presentation. There's a presence around you that is very exciting. The audience loved you. Unfortunately, your family will have to do without you for a couple more weeks. Your mic is still on.
Simon Mainge.
Simon, you have a boyish charm towards you. Judges like that. But your voice, Simon, is letting you down. We're looking for somebody who has presence. Gravitas. Gravitas. We feel that you need to do a little bit more to connect with a local audience. We just feel you have to work on that. Simon. Your mic is off.
Frida, you seemed to enjoy what you were doing. We think that you, Frida Mwaka, should stay. Your mic is still on.
Peter Kamau.
We saw what you did, and while we loved your voice, we don't remember anything else about what you did there. We think that you could have done more with that audience. You could have connected more. Unfortunately, there are many things out there that people do with good voices. This is only one of them. You have to leave the academy today, Peter.
Charlie Karumi. Charlie, the judges loved you. Most of them, at least. Your presentation was A1. It was felt that you connected really well with the audience. You had your facts right, so your content was on point. We also noticed that you wore a suit. Very well done. Charlie, you've come a long way. Your mic is still on. Richard Onyango.
Richard, you were far too condescending and sarcastic with your audience. You have got to treat every member of your audience like they're your best friend. That is what we deserve watching you at home. You need to work very hard if you're going to continue in this competition. But Richard, your mic is still on.
Frida, we loved your diction. You had presence. You engaged very well with the audience. You knew about your subject matter. You were the only contestant who sought to know the names of the audience and whined with "nice to meet you." Very personal, very conversational. Very well done. We also noticed that you've come a mighty long way in as far as applying the lessons taught by all the coaches since this competition began. Your wardrobe, your makeup, we see improvement, we acknowledge it. Congratulations, your mic is still on. Jamal Gaddafi.
Jamal, we have a big problem. Something is going wrong with you, Jamal. You are going downhill. We think that you perhaps have become complacent. This is a serious competition, Jamal. And they say that you're only as good as your last performance. You have to be constantly on your A game. So we were pretty disappointed looking at what you did there. Time has come, Jamal, for you to up your game. La sivyo kitumbua kitaingia mchanga. Your mic is still on.
If you don't have a microphone, could you please step forward?
Michelle and Sharon, how do you think you performed in this task?
Right, as we were training for the challenge, Mr. Derek Banga told us about the 3 C's and the 3 E's. I made sure to incorporate all 6 in my presentation. I made sure to be confident, I was credible, I was charismatic, I was enthusiastic, I had energy, and I enjoyed myself while doing the presentation.
Sharon, do you think you understood the topic?
Yes, I think I understood the topic.
Give me the 2 names of the 2 candidates that you spoke about.
Mr. Elijah Mumesi and Patrick Tutu.
Elijah Mumesi?
Mumesi.
Elijah Mumesi. See, Sharon, that's where the problem is. The problem is when you do not understand the topic, when you have time to research and you don't conduct good research. The depth of your knowledge of the topic that you're discussing. How well you engage with your audience. How you pronounce words. What should we say about that?
I listen, I understand, I learn, and I try my best to put what I've learned into consideration whenever I do any challenge.
Last time, you had an issue. This time again, you have an issue. The names that you've given of the candidates are completely wrong. One of you needs to go home. And Michelle, you need to step back and let Sharon leave the academy.
Michelle, step to the front. We loved your presentation. It's true you are confident. Out of all these contestants, you had the most genuine smile. You smiled a lot. I think that endeared you to your audience. You had your subject matter correct. You're presenting on Bouquet of KTN programming. You nailed it. And the audience loved you. It's for that reason that your mic is still on.
10 mics are still on. 11 mics are off. You're past the halfway mark. The competition gets stiffer. What we've noticed is as you stay in the academy, two things are happening. Some of you are taking this more seriously. You're seeking to apply what you learn. Some of you are getting overconfident. You are beginning to become cocky. Like I use the words with Tendai. Like you use the words with Jamal. And we cannot entertain that. It's a serious competition. We are looking for a winner. And our audience is expecting a very good presenter. So contestants, take the next 1 week and all the lessons that you will learn, apply them, take this seriously, and make sure that you give us all a hard task determining who exits next. All the best.
That came unexpected, like an unwanted pregnancy, but listen, Team Simon, hey, I'll still be making my YouTube episodes. You can keep on watching them.
As much as I didn't survive to the finals, I'm still very grateful.
It's a competition. Anything can happen. You're here today, you're gone tomorrow. Basically, that's what I take from the competition.
Just the way it is. Some things will never change. That's just the way it is. Ah, but don't you believe them? Said, hey.